Hey everyone. So I thought about doing this on live, but I'm not good with live. So anyway, I put a question on Facebook about what sin Satan had committed to get kicked out of heaven. Okay. Now I always thought that it was that he got Adam and Eve to eat the apple, but that was not it. Okay. In the Bible, I'm going to show you what the sin was that he committed. Now, this is who Lucifer was, okay? In Ezekiel 28, starting in verse 12, okay, it says, "You were the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was your covering, the sardius, topaz, and diamond, beryl, onyx, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and emerald with gold. The workmanship of your timbrels and pipes." Now, Satan's heart, or Lucifer's heart, was made of a tambourine. He had a timbrel for a heart. And he had pipes, beautiful pipes. They were shofars, pipes, okay? "Was prepared for you on the day you were created. You were the anointed cherub who covers. I established you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked back and forth in the midst of the fiery stones." Now that's very important. "You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created, till iniquity was found in you. By the abundance of your trading, you became filled with violence within, and you sinned. Therefore I cast you as a profane thing out of the mountain of God, and I destroyed you, O covering cherub, from the midst of the fiery stones." Now, the fiery stones that they're talking about here was Lucifer walked up and down through the fiery stones, and that's where he would get revelation. And because of the timbrel and the pipes in him, and he would rise above the earth, okay? And the earth was covered with thin metal plates, okay? And Lucifer would go up above the earth, and the wind would go through him, and beautiful music was played. And as this beautiful music was played, the Word created everything on the earth, okay? So in Genesis 1, where it talks about the world was without form and void, okay, that was, it was created, okay, by this, through this music and through the word of Jesus, the Word. Jesus was the Word. And the earth was created. There was mountains and animals and everything, okay? Now, but Lucifer, each revelation that he would create, the earth would wait in anticipation of the great things that would be created as he sang the song, okay, of revelation. This was his job, okay? So, but one day, the revelation came of man. And Lucifer got very upset about that, okay? And he couldn't handle it. He didn't want man because man took his place. What happened was, before man came, it was God and the angels. Nothing in between, God and the angels, okay? But when man came, this is what the song was supposed to be. In Isaiah 14, verse 12, okay, the song was supposed to be, "Man will ascend into heaven. Man will exalt his throne above the stars of God." The stars of God are the angels. So man would be above the stars of God, above the angels, okay? "Man will also sit on the mount of congregation. Oh man, now I messed up. "On the farther sides of the north, man will ascend above the heights of the clouds. Man will be like the Most High," because God made us in his image. We were like the Most High God. Okay? But this is the song he sang instead. Okay? Is the way it reads in Isaiah 14. "How you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning." Now, son of the morning Jesus was called the morning star, okay? Lucifer was called son of the morning. He was also called the light bearer, okay? He was Jesus' personal angel, okay? Very important too. So, how you are cut down to the ground, you who weakened the nations. Now, these are nations before man came. For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation, on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Okay? Yet he was brought down. Yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, to the lowest depths of the pit. Now, when Lucifer was supposed to sing of the revelation of man being created, okay, the earth was anticipation of this great, great song, okay? The earth was waiting for this beautiful song to be sung, okay? But the earth couldn't take it. It couldn't take what Lucifer is saying because it wasn't right, okay? So what happened is, I beheld the mountains, and indeed they trembled. And this is in Jeremiah 4. And all the hills moved back and forth. I beheld, and indeed there was no man. See, there was no man at this time. Okay? And all the birds of the heavens had fled. I beheld, and indeed the fruitful land was a wilderness, and all its cities were broken down at the presence of the Lord by his fierce anger. Because he was very angry. Okay, the earth became desolate. Okay? The whole land shall be desolate, yet I will not make a full end. For this shall the earth mourn, and the heavens above be black, because I have spoken. I have purposed and will not relent, nor will I turn back from it. Okay, so the earth became desolate. Now this only happened after Genesis 1. Okay, when you go back to Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, God here means Elohim. Okay, the earth was or became. Was here in Hebrew means became. The earth became without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Okay. Now, this is where Satan had transgressed, had sinned, okay? So, now, if you go to Genesis 3:15, where we know how the serpent, okay, wait a minute, maybe we better back up a little bit. Genesis 3. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, Has God indeed said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, You shall not eat, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Now God actually didn't tell them they couldn't touch it, because they had to tend all the plants. But Adam had told her. But this is another story. Okay, getting back to this, okay? So when the serpent had done this, okay, it says in Genesis 3:15, and I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. Now, here, it's saying the serpent had a seed, okay? Now, when Satan sang the song, or Lucifer sang the song for himself, he planted a seed into the earth with his song, because everything that was said of the revelations planted a seed. The mountains, the cities, and everything that were before man ever existed. Okay? He planted a seed. Well, the serpent here was actually not Satan. Okay? He was a beast of the field. A literal beast of the field. And he had legs, because it says that when he got cursed, God took his legs, okay? And he became a snake on the ground. He had to slither on the ground in the dust and eat the dust, okay? But see, the seed that it talks about is the serpent wanted something. So Lucifer, or Satan, had told the serpent that he would be bring forth the seed. Now, the seed that he brings forth is the Antichrist, which is another story, okay? But that would be the seed, okay? Now, if we go back to Genesis 1, okay, when it says that the waters, okay, were dark, okay, it actually means the waters, death-filled, semen, seed-filled waters, because the seed that Satan had planted, okay, was in the waters, okay? So, in Genesis 1:26 and 28 through 28, okay, this is what it says. That God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea." Now, dominion is important. "Over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." Now, God gave man dominion over the earth, okay? But that's what Satan stole from us, was dominion over the earth. When we sinned, Adam knew what he was doing. Eve was deceived, but Adam knew. Okay, that's maybe another story. So, Adam actually committed treason. We know that, okay? And so that left a door open for Satan to do things through the earth, through people, okay? So, then it says, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created man. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, 'Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it.'" Subdue it. Now, if the earth was created perfect, okay, why would Adam need to subdue it? Because the seed was planted when Lucifer sang the song for himself and not for man. Like I said, he planted a seed. So Adam was supposed to subdue the earth, okay, and take back the dominion from Satan. But of course he did not. And this is what happens, okay? So the sin that Lucifer had created or had committed was not singing the song, the Revelation song, the way he was supposed to. So he was thrown out of heaven, as it said in, let me get back to it. Where am I? In Isaiah, yet you shall be brought down to Sheol. And in Ezekiel, where it says, "Therefore I cast you as a profane thing out of the mountain of God, and I destroyed you, O covering cherub, from the midst of the fiery stones." And Lucifer was actually cast out of heaven on a lightning bolt. And it says that in there too. So this is why, this is the answer to the question of what Lucifer did to get kicked out of heaven. There's a lot more to this story, but for now, I think that's good.